My name is Elaine Johnston. You know, my grandmother was kind of like my role model. I wanted to be like Nanny. She was a very kind person, would do anything for anybody, and that's the way she was. But if I swept her floor or if I dusted, it was just perfect. I did a perfect job, and I got a lot of praise, which I didn't get a lot of, you know, so that's what I liked about her. It could be some little thing, but you got a lot of praise. I always went to church with her every Sunday. You know, I could tell you right where we sat at the Church of the Nazarene. You know, I sat beside her there, and, you know, that was, you know, just the thing that we did.
That was Elaine Johnston talking about Nanny Walter. Our next act is the Waldoboro Fire Department, who will be singing a song, but they will not tell me what it is. But I've been assured it's not burning down the house. Ladies and gentlemen, the Waldoboro Fire Department. Ladies and gentlemen, the Waldoboro Fire Department. Fantastic. I just hope that's not the new fire alarm. Next up, we have Hannah Basham, who is 23, grew up in Midcoast, Maine, and has been playing guitar and writing her own music since she was 10. And sometimes you can hear her playing in the area. While music is her passion, songwriting tops that. She said, "I love being able to express myself lyrically while also producing a soft, slower sound that falls somewhere around the alternative grunge pop genre." Ladies and gentlemen, Hannah Basham.
Hi, Waldoboro. How are you? All right, I'm going to play an original tonight. This is one of my songs. It's called Interstellar.
Had I embodied perfection, I'm sure I'd still be lonely next
Hannah Basham, ladies and gentlemen. Hannah Basham, give it up. That was fantastic. Next up, we have Scott Simpson. Scott started singing in church choirs and playing guitar and writing songs as a teenager. After a decade as a frontman for a Christian rock group that recorded 2 albums of original music, Scott has been focusing on his solo work as a secular singer and songwriter. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Scott Simpson.
Thank you, Sam. Sam killing it tonight. This is it. Space pretends to speak. It's lightning without thunder, which through the vastness creeps. We can feel the gravity of all the burning suns that we can see. They're all so very far away. It's hard to hear their call. The sunrise leaves us wanting, the starfields leave us small. Starlight, star bright, all the stars I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight. Out at night, we all pretend that we know just the message we would send. Stay away or come on by. Don't know which is best. We long to know you're out there, but fear that you exist. Starlight, starlight, all the stars I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight. Out at night, we all ask
Scott Simpson, everybody. Scott Simpson. Isn't there a lot of talent in Waldoboro? It's unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. Next up, we have this is actually an old Waldoboro act. It's been around for a long time with new members replacing other members. It's the Family of God Quintet with Don Mortensen, David Cole, Benjamin Rowe, Terry Melanson, and Duncan Morrill, who will be joined with Ethan Foss playing piano. They have been singing in harmony for 45 years. 45 years! It's amazing. Mostly at the First Baptist Church in Waldoboro, but they also travel to smaller churches who don't have choirs and to people who might be ill and in need of a beautiful harmony, needing some encouragement. Ladies and gentlemen, the Family of God Quintet. Quintet, ladies and gentlemen. The Family of God Quintet, everybody. Give it up for them. Absolutely fantastic. We're going to take a short little moment here for a bit of a remembrance of people that we've lost in Waldoboro in the past year. Ladies and gentlemen, our next act is Rebecca Brackett, who works at a hospital in Augusta. She has lived in Waldoboro for 32 years. She likes to build things, and she also likes to figure out how things work. This song is from 1962 and was originally recorded by Bernard Cribb.
Michelle.
That's not what I have. Everything I just said. Next up, we have Michelle Carter. There was a small glitch in the printer. Michelle Carter, singing on stage before Waldoboro has been a dream of hers since she was a teenager and discovered how much music played a big part in her life. Her father, David Brand, had a band when she was little, Dave and the Boys, and everyone was related. And they played at Grange halls and dance halls and all over. And she said, I used to watch him sing, and he sounded just like Hank Williams. I was so proud of him. Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Carter.
How's everybody doing? I think it's time to call AGT. Okay. Is there a way to... Love ain't a candle. It doesn't burn for one night and leave the dark to shine. Love is alive, and love ain't just a word in every dictionary and nowhere to find. Love is a man and he's mine. Love is alive and at a breakfast table every day of the week. Love is alive and it grows every day and night, even in our sleep. Love is alive and it's made a happy woman out of me. Oh, love is alive and here by me. And love ain't just a mood, distant, faraway dream that leads the night to shine. Love is alive, and love ain't just a song, sweet words and music to go dancing by. Love is a man and he's mine. Oh, love is alive and at a breakfast table every day of the week. Love is alive and it grows every day and night, even in our sleep. Love is alive and it's made a happy woman out of me. Oh, love is alive and here by me. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Carter. Give it up. Well, now we've reached the animal act portion of the show. Next up, we have Morgan and Kraken. For those who don't know Morgan, and who doesn't know Morgan, She's a Waldoboro resident who spends much of her time keeping an eye on our local lands and waters with her dog Kraken by her side. Tonight they'll be performing some tricks while Jimmy Durda narrates a story about an alewife trying to make his way up the Madomic River. Ladies and gentlemen, Morgan, Kraken, and Jimmy.
All right. There once was a little alewife named Kraken, for even though he was small, he knew one day he would be a fierce part of the sea. But for now, Kraken was just a tiny fry, having hatched from his egg a few days earlier. He spent most of his time swimming around Madomic Pond, where he had been born, searching for aquatic insect larvae and zooplankton. He grew, and several months, as the temperature dropped, Kraken felt the sea calling. As his ancestors had done for years, it was time to transition to a saltwater world. He flowed downstream around river bends and over waterfalls. Kraken enjoyed his time at sea, schooling around with his friends, eating and growing, and escaping the many other fish who were trying to eat him. 3 years went by, and he felt another calling, but this time to go back to the lake he had been born in. Slowly, he and his friends made their way back to their natal lake. For many, many miles, the alewives made their way to the Madomic estuary to get ready for their freshwater home. As Kraken and the alewives moved up the Madomic estuary, they encountered their first obstacle to the freshwater river, a giant waterfall. And surrounding these falls, Kraken could see osprey, eagles, and gulls who looked very hungry. Just as he was wondering how to navigate the birds and make it up the falls, Kraken felt a sharp pain in his side, and the next thing he knew, he was in the air. He looked up and saw he was in the clutches of a hungry osprey. Kraken wriggled and wriggled to get free, but it was no use. The osprey was strong. But just as his hope of returning to Madomic Pond was dwindling, an eagle came to steal him away. Panicked, the osprey loosened her grip, and Kraken wriggled free, falling back into the water with the rest of the alewives. Happy to be back in the water and counting to make sure all his scales and fins were there, Kraken continued upstream towards the falls. The churning water looked formidable, but he backed up, gathered all his strength, and leapt over the falls. Fresh water at last. Onward and upward, the alewives swam against the current towards the pond. They swam and swam and swam. Kraken was getting tired. Could he really make it all the way? Just as he thought he couldn't go any further, he and the other alewives found a nice pool to rest in. Just as they got going again, a giant wall appeared. This was not like the other falls Kraken had seen. Damn, he thought, how will he ever get up this? This big cement wall went up and up and up. He backed up, gathered all his strength, and leapt. Slam! Right into the wall. Kraken tumbled down into the water. It's a dam, said another fish. They're impassable. What were the fish to do? Were they going to make it back to Madomic Pond? They tried and tried, but every mile they hit the dam and fell back into the water. But then, hey everyone, over here, there's a fish ladder. What's a fish ladder? Asked Kraken. It's a way for us fish to get around dams. We will make it to the Madomic Pond after all, answered one of his friends. The alewives jumped up, and the various pools of the fish ladder, making their way around the dam, And then finally, the pond, and they made it. Kraken was so happy to be back in the pond he had not been in for 3 years. It was big and open. Like the ocean, but much more calm. He and the other alewives swam around, finding the best spawning grounds, helping to continue the legacy of the alewife and do it all again next year. The end. Let's hear it for Kraken.
Kraken, Morgan, and Jimmy. And now, Millard Creamer talking about his father, Arthur.
Ever since I've been a small kid, I did everything with them. I would go fishing with them in the wintertime, spout fishing. My father was the best spout fisherman around at the day, and he taught me all the ins and outs about how to fish and how to catch them and everything. And then I used to go lobstering with him. He brought me up when I was around 7 or 8. I used to go out on the boat with him. I was his like a little stern man. I can remember one time he had a stern man, and the stern man didn't want me to be there. So he told my father, it was either me or you can take your son. And my father, of course, chose me. He taught me all the trades, how to go lobstering and all that. And then when he got a little bit older, he used to be my stern man. It was strange because back when he used to go, they always had wooden plugs to plug the lobsters. And when we first started, we used to do it. And all of a sudden, within 2-3 years, they came out with these rubber bands and things, and I put them on the boat. My father would just put them one side and still use the wooden plugs because he didn't like the rubber bands. So there was quite a trend for him to switch over, you know. So he did see that in his day.
Wonderful, wonderful. Stop me if you've heard this before. Rebecca Brackett is our next act. Rebecca works at a hospital in Augusta, and she's lived in Waldoboro for 32 years. She likes to build things, and she also likes to figure out how things work. This song is from 1962 and was originally recorded by Bernard Cribbins. Ladies and gentlemen, Rebecca Brackett.
This is a song for all of us who have ever struggled in an old farmhouse moving furniture from floor to floor. And there is a chorus, and you'll know it when you hear it, and you're welcome to join in. Right, said Fred, both of us together, one each side, and steady as you go. Couldn't shift it, couldn't even lift it. We was getting nowhere, and so we had a cup of tea. Right, said Fred, give a shout for Charlie. Up comes Charlie from the floor below. After straining, heaving, and complaining, we was getting nowhere, and so we had a cup of tea. Charlie had a thought, and he said we ought to take off all the handles and those things would hold the candles. But it did no good. I never thought it would. Right, said Fred, got to take the feet off. Take those feet off, shouldn't take 'em all. Took the feet off, even took the seat off. We was getting nowhere, and so Fred said, let's have a cup of tea. Right, said Fred, got to take the door down. Need some space to move the so-and-so. Got bad twinges, getting off the hinges. We was getting nowhere, and so we had a cup of tea. Right, said Fred, got to take the wall down. That there wall, it's gotta go. Took the wall down, even with it all down. We was getting nowhere, and so we had a cup of tea. Charlie had to think and he said, "Hey, Fred, I kinda got this feeling. If we remove the ceiling, with a rope or two, we can drop the bladder through." "All right," said Fred, and went right up the ladder with his crowbar, strike a mighty blow. Was he in trouble? Half a ton of rubble landed on the top of his dome. So Charlie and me had another cup of tea, and then we went home.
Rebecca Brackett, everybody! Rebecca Brackett! Well done. Well done. Now I really want a cup of tea. Now we're going to have Becky Maxwell talking about an old-time Waldoboro legend, Bushy.
When I was a senior in high school, I went to work at Stahl's Tavern, and I had a room up over the kitchen where I waited on tables in the morning and at night and on weekends 3 times. It was nice. Ida Stahl was a very nice lady to work for. And Bushy was Louis Bossinault was his name, but he was known as Bushy, was the cook. And he did all the cooking. In fact, I had a gallbladder attack when I was in high school and senior. And Dr. Sampson was the doctor. He put me on a special diet. And Bushy says, "I'll cook all your food from now on." And he did. And I have not to this day had a gallbladder attack. So I blame it on Bushy. He took care of my food. It was fun working there. It really was.
Okay, next up, I know you've all been sitting there going, where are the ukuleles? Well, here they are, ukuleles with Kathy Cartwright and Lisa Lane. Kathy, from Waldoboro, is a member of the ukulele band Skadampa Strummers, and they play for local events and group homes. Lisa, who you saw tap dancing earlier tonight, has been playing for a little over a year, and she told me she learned everything she knows from an app. Ladies and gentlemen, ukuleles. Oh, they're going to be playing Happy Trails and an Aloha medley, and they'd like you to sing along.
So join us, and I'm going to dedicate this to my daughter Chelsea, who's been on this stage quite a bit in her past. So I'm dedicating it to everybody. Okay. What? Wait till he's gone. Oh, okay. We have to wait till he's gone. All right. Tell me when.
All right, you ready? Hold on. Whoops. You want your note? Okay. Wait.
Else to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling on to them. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song in the sunny weather. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Some trails are happy ones, others are blue. It's the way you ride the trail that counts. Here's a happy one for you. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy
trails to you until we meet again. Aloha, farewell to thee, thou charming one who dwells among the flowers. One fond embrace before I now depart, until we meet again. And happy trails to you till we meet again.
Happy Waldeboro.
Kathy and Lisa, let's give it up for them. Fantastic. Next up, we have somebody who is almost a lifelong resident of Waldeboro, and most of you know her. Melissa Barber, who is a... She is a... She is a teacher at Madonna Valley High School. She's taught there for a long time. She teaches English. What you might not know is that she is also a poet and was just recently published in the prestigious literary magazine Oberon, and she's here tonight to read an original poem written specifically for this event. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Melissa Barber.
I can always tell when my family is in the house. So this evening, just earlier, Rebecca said, "Did you memorize it?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I didn't." But I did, I kind of did, but then she's like, "What are your kids gonna say about that?" And I'm like, I always tell them, the magic's in the revision. Like nowhere else except the place you call home. Gone are the days of riding one speeds without helmets 2 miles up 32 to the library. Yet this nestled village, slung low between two hardy hills, still crows, despite its tricky narrows, home of the 5-masted schooner and world-class clams. Mobile homes for sale atop one hill, crowning the other an oasis, complete with blinking neon, once Route 1's only all-night beacon. The grocery abuts a trailer park where families live and seniors retire, some with routes to Benner, Ralph, Winchenbach, and higher. I left here in the back seat of my father's silver Cadillac, leaving reluctance behind, made my way home with a heavy load in a U-Haul that held boxed up toys and books, found a swing, a sandbox, a new job, new pressure melting meat off my bones. October skies still meant cotton candy colors in colder nights, but miles and medicine couldn't make everything right. Moonshine still fills this river's butter dish, lusty and captivating, like tales told by a gloved newsstand veteran who sold candy to kids and gossip to grown-ups, bandy that likely got him killed. While staple stores, Gaze, Weston's, Madomic Variety, once thought irreplaceable, disappear like ghosts of dogs you think you see, some still stand to serve, like our young, Acorn, Soul and Schumann, to name a few, who went to war never coming home to this place, where vacancy spins its threads of possibility into new neighbors and Monday night music at the local watering hole.
Ladies and gentlemen, Melissa Barber. Some powerful words. We've come to our last act of the evening. Becky Libby, as she writes, "The last time I sang in front of a crowd, it was October 31st, 2014, when she sang Amazing Grace a cappella at her father's military funeral. She said, I swallowed every bit of nerves to honor him one last time. My dad had pipes that reminded me of Johnny Cash. He used to belt out songs randomly, and I remember exactly how he sounded. He is the reason I sing and play guitar. She says, I wish he could be here, but I know he's going to be in my heart, cheering me on. I feel like I carry on his legacy of music every time I play. Thank you, Daddy, she wrote, for showing me the beautiful gift of music, which has saved me more than anything. Thank you for your random appearances in my dreams. Even when you're across the street and just walking by, it tells me you're never far away. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Becky Libby. Give it up, Becky Libby. Give it up. Absolutely stunning, right? What a perfect way to end the evening. I'd like to have anybody who has performed to please come up to the stage so we can just take a quick bow. Also, I would remind you that they are signing up people for free memberships to the Waldo in the lobby, and the concession stand's still open, so help yourselves. Let's get everybody up here, take a quick bow, and we'll all go home. You guys have been a great audience tonight. You've been a fantastic audience tonight. And if you'd like to talk to any of the performers, they're going to be around in the lobby afterwards for half an hour or so, 20 minutes or so, if you'd like to say something. Ladies and gentlemen, Waldoboro, Maine! Waldoboro, Maine! Ready? One more, ready? Good night, drive safe.